Okay, so we've been looking at a series of Calesitas where the leader walks around the follower and pivots her on the spot. Up to now, they've all been on axis. So the follower is on her own axis, pivoting, balanced the whole time. Yeah. So there are other ways of doing it. And what we're going to look at now is off axis. So we're going to look at taking the follower into a lean. So we do the Calesita exactly as we have done before. We'll keep it simple so there's not too much worrying about the projection. If you want to see how the Calesita is formed and how to do the projections, look at the previous videos. But this time we're going to look at how to create a lean towards us. So if I just pivot so that you can see what's going on. Where we're aiming to be at the end is sort of here. So she's off axis, leaning towards us and leaning on us. So before we start actually creating it, followers, make sure that you've got a good connection here with the upper arm over your leader's upper arm. Yeah. Again, not too much pull or push on this side. That's just literally for steering. We don't want any effort involved here. Followers, keep straight. So what we don't want is bending. Yeah. We don't want bending the other way. Yeah, that's why we don't want bending that way. Because suddenly you're carrying way more weight than you were expecting. But it follows, if you keep straight, it's a really easy, balanced move, and it feels nice and comfortable. You are responsible for making sure you don't fall over yourself. So, so followers, just be aware and don't just, if you feel your balance going, do put a foot down and do get out of it. Don't just think, oh, he'll rescue me at some point. He might not. He might be hoping you're going to rescue him because he's already fallen over. So make sure that you are aware of what's going on. I always like to think there's a little bit more of a connection when you start, just at this point, just to say, you know, okay, something's going to happen. Now what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to pull her off axis and then start walking around, because that's really difficult and clumsy. It doesn't look good. So what I do is I just start walking around as normal on the Calesita, but then just move a little bit away from her. And then come back onto axis to pivot her around to exit. So it's like we've sort of, if that's your follower, instead of keeping a tight circle around her at the same distance, we've moved away a little bit and then come back in again. Now we're not dialing this up to 11, we're not going so that she's leaning out here somewhere. We just want to move her slightly off axis to create a bit more dynamics. So move away, step out. You can soon feel when she's off axis. Keep it balanced, then move back in again, and then we can walk out. So that last bit, doing the pivot, she's back on axis again.